Tonight on DC News Now. Tensions still high after a clash at a ceasefire protest at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in D.C.
Demanding more protections for D.C. renters.
Stretching your dollar, savings at the supermarket, the hacks while hunting for kitchen table essentials.
And family-friendly Christmas events that's fun for all ages. The parent hack for the holidays that'll stretch your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 7 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran in for Thasmin Mahfouz. Let's get started with those protesters who were calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and how they clashed with Capitol Police last night. This was right outside the Democratic National Committee headquarters there in Southeast.
Yeah, you can see in the video here protesters with ceasefire shirts on, locking arms as they were met by police.
Now, Capitol Police say this was about 150 people who were illegally and violently protesting there in that Capitol Hill neighborhood. But the people we spoke with say they were out there peacefully for a candlelight vigil to honor the thousands of people who had been killed in Gaza and Israel. And they say it was police who started this volatile situation. Yeah,
Capitol Police say 6 officers, they had minor injuries. They did arrest 1 person for assaulting an officer. Our political and government reporter, Leonard N. Fleming, is outside of DNC headquarters with what's developing right now.
This was clearly a continuation of the confrontation last night that caused massive chaos right here in front of Democratic National Committee headquarters, where 150 protesters turned violent and went violent on police who say they needed to get control of the crowd. It was chaos last night in front of DNC headquarters, where scores of protesters upset about the escalating violence and death in Gaza during the Israeli war against Hamas. Capitol Police say several officers sustained injuries in the violent clashes with demonstrators. Officers were pepper sprayed and punched, police say.
Please leave me alone.
California Congressman Bradley Sherman, upset at the violence aimed at police, was confronted by a protester during an interview with our network, News Nation. We just spoke to Maryland Congressman Glenn Ivey as he walked out of DNC headquarters just a bit ago.
Anytime you cross the line and you get into violent conduct, whether that's directed at police or elected officials or just citizens minding their own business, I think that's a line that's a bridge too far.
Given the calls for a ceasefire and the violence, the escalating violence in Gaza, these protests are expected to continue, and that's something that lawmakers, even though they feel like these protesters have their first right amendment to protest, that they are very, very concerned about. Reporting from DNC headquarters in Washington, D.C., Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
All right, it's not just D.C. Other protests taking place all across the country as well. This one was in Boston. About 100 protesters completely shutting down the BU Bridge this morning. Happened right in the middle of rush hour traffic. Now, they could be seen holding that massive banner there. It says, "Jews say ceasefire now." They also called on one of Massachusetts' senators, Elizabeth Warren, to support peace in the region.
Then over on the West Coast, massive crowds shut down rush hour traffic here on the Bay Bridge in San Francisco. You can see the cars and the protesters right there. Police also on hand, hoping to keep the peace. Now, the demonstration, it took place, of course, while President Biden is there in San Francisco for the Asian Pacific Economic Conference. Police say they took several protesters into custody and had to remove all of those cars from the bridge. All right, it is 7:04 on this Thursday, and we're talking about air quality concerns out there.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb here. We got some fire, we got some low visibility ahead of us as well. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, you have 2 elements right now that don't mix. Really, this air quality concern is due to the fires that are burning across West Virginia, sections of Virginia as well. And that's why west of I-81, they have issued this air quality alert until midnight tonight. The fire and smoke danger will start to go down overnight as cooler temperatures. The problem with an air quality is you need winds to kind of stir up to help the movement, and we're seeing variable to light winds across the region. And so really the bulk of that haze is out towards Richmond. We're kind of getting lucky, and things will get a lot better as we go into tomorrow. Also, temperatures are very mild, so that doesn't help the situation as well. So mostly clear conditions for tonight. We do have some fog that's going to start to develop early morning tomorrow and impact your early morning commute. It will dissipate around 10 o'clock. I do want to look at that extended forecast because it's going to be rough for your driving conditions tomorrow morning. But also, we're tracking in some rain for late evening Friday. We'll time things out in a moment.
All right, Janessa, thanks. We'll see you then. Developing right now, D.C. police investigating a shooting on New York Avenue in Southeast. They said the victim has life-threatening injuries, and the Violent Crimes Unit has been called to the scene. We're working right now to confirm more details. Of course, we'll pass along any new information as it comes in.
We take you to Prince George's County now in Maryland, where investigators have arrested a man for a deadly hit and run. Bladensburg police say that Kevin Dwayne Scott drove into a 73-year-old woman and killing her on October 18th. This was while she was crossing the street to catch a bus to get to work. Investigators say that Scott did not stop following this crash. He now faces several charges, including manslaughter. Tonight, a former Pentagon police officer will be spending quarter of a century in prison. This is for a deadly double shooting in Montgomery County.
Yeah, and just a warning tonight, some viewers may find video you're about to watch disturbing. The case has played out in the last 2.5 years.
That's right. Dixon was sentenced to 25 years for each murder, but those sentences, they are going to run concurrently. That means they're going to run together as part of a plea deal. DC News Now's Randy Bass has more.
The two victims, Dominique Williams and James Johnson, were pronounced dead at a hospital. There was a third man there, though, the one in the driver's seat. Michael Thomas was an essential witness in the trial. He spoke after Dixon's sentencing today.
I still had a vehicle. It's blood still in the car. I never cleaned it out. You know, I try to stay away from it, and I kind of want to keep it because those were my friends. So, you know, man, it's just, I want to get rid of them, but I don't. We just still have to cope with the pain and just try to get through life and doing it while they're not here.
2.5 years later, family and friends of the victims are still moving forward.
Do I think it's fair? No.
Joseph Johnson is James' cousin. He says even though justice was served, things will always feel unfair.
He could do 25 years and get out and enjoy his life. My cousin can't come back. They're in a casket 6 feet deep, cold by itself.
I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, David Dixon, again, won't be eligible for parole until the second half of his concurrent 25-year sentences. He'll be in protective custody, and the last 2.5 years he's already spent behind bars. That will count towards his sentence.
We're going to talk about 6 D.C. council members who are now working together to keep renters out of some unsafe homes. Yeah, a new bill was introduced that goes after landlords who neglect their properties. It's called the Do Right by D.C. Tenant Amendments Act. It's actually a new version of a bill brought to council back in 2017. So this is legislation that would keep landlords who don't take care of properties from buying up even more rentals. Now, these are landlords who have more than 5 Class 1 or 2 housing code violations in a year. And those are considered the most severe violations. Yeah, the violations include if they pose imminent danger to safety or health, fail to repair an unsafe structure, allow health and safety nuisances, have unlawful quantities of lead, and lack adequate heat or ventilation. Now, as long as there are no more violations within a year and a landlord fixes their violations and is cleared, they will be allowed to buy property once again. All right, it's been closed for 10 years, but an old Spingarn High School in D.C. is getting a makeover. $64 million investment turns the school into a state-of-the-art career training center. It will connect people to jobs and certifications. It'll be named the DC Infrastructure Academy. And the renovation of the Northeast DC building will also include solar panels and EV charging stations. The city says the facility will have a lab for car repair and a Pepco yard to provide training on power and connection repair. It is cold and flu season, and the CDC's latest report shows that respiratory illnesses are on the rise. This is all across the country. And for babies as well as the elderly, the key concern right now is RSV. Yeah, it is. DC News Now's Haley Milon spoke to a family doctor for tips on how we all can stay healthy.
There are 2 different types of shots for RSV, both approved by the FDA earlier this year. One is a vaccine for older adults. You can find that at pharmacies and doctors' offices without too much trouble. The other is a monoclonal antibody shot that's okay for use in kids, but it's pretty tricky to track down.
Once these airways get inflamed, they start to spasm.
Dr. Frank Giancola of Pediatric Care of Northern Virginia says RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, poses the greatest threat to babies under 1 year old. Symptoms include a runny nose, decrease in appetite, coughing, sneezing, fever, and wheezing. And right now,
the virus is everywhere, and usually once it starts to spread, just like a cold, it's very difficult to see spread.
CDC data show emergency room visits due to RSV are rising. And when the monoclonal antibody shots came out earlier this year, a lot of parents sought them out.
The problem with the pediatric one is that, of course, demand went through the roof for it, and they couldn't produce it fast enough.
Giancola says that the CDC is now recommending the shots just for at-risk infants. Most pediatric practices do not carry it, and a number of pharmacies told DC News Now that they're not offering it. The Fairfax County Health Department says many uninsured families are looking for the shots too. But some good news.
If your child is overall healthy and they're over the age of 1, they're probably just going to get a really nasty cold from it,
lasting a week to 10 days. He says fluids, rest, and air humidifiers will help. He says wheezing, rapid breathing for several minutes, dropping oxygen levels, and recurring vomiting might mean it's time to call a doctor.
You don't usually do those things with an ordinary cold.
And while RSV is spreading rapidly among young children, Dr. Giancola says that older adults 60 years and up should seek out that vaccine, as that is an at-risk age group. In Fairfax County, Haley Mylon, DC News Now.